beautiful people, welcome to the Naba's Kitchen. On the menu today is baked rice and baked chicken, all streamlined preparation, full of classic, beautiful flavors. Let's begin, but first we need to wash our hands. First up, we're going to marinate a chicken. And I have 12 pieces of organic chicken thighs with the skin on. The bone is also in there because we want those chicken pieces to be nice and juicy. And here's a teaspoon of dry thyme, followed by half a teaspoon of powdered oregano and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And I have some salt to taste, as well as some chicken bouillon, a pinch of each. And I'm also adding half a teaspoon of crushed black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of my minced garlic also goes in. And we'll also need 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in order to be able to coat all the chicken pieces with the dry rub. Massage well and set aside for an hour. Just before it goes into the oven, after marinating, we'll add 2 tablespoons of ketchup. We need that tang and also that sweetness in here. The marinating ingredients have now become part of all the chicken pieces. It is smelling amazing. They're ready to go into the oven for baking. So we'll need a cast iron skillet because it retains heat well and also disseminates it throughout, cooking all the chicken pieces evenly. Coat it lightly with extra virgin olive oil or any oil you love to cook with, and line the chicken pieces up. Add more oil as you go, depending on the surface area you have to work with. Do not worry if the chicken pieces touch each other, because as they bake, they will shrink. 550 degrees Fahrenheit for the next 15 minutes. The high temperature quick baking is going to help us to sear in those lovely juices and also create that beautiful color on the chicken thighs. Perfect. Everything is moving along smoothly. I have washed 4 cups of jasmine rice, and you can use any long grain kind of rice you like to cook with. And you're going to add 32 ounces of chicken broth or vegetable broth or any kind of broth you like. Now I have also added the rest of the garlic, which comes to a teaspoon of garlic, plus 1 tablespoon of butter. And it is unsalted, and I've also added some salt to season with. You're going to season according to your taste, okay? Now we're going to stir everything in to combine, and then we're going to place the hot chicken thighs onto the rice before it goes into the oven. Now keep in mind the chicken pieces do not need to be submerged. Just place them ever so lightly on top of the rice. And then don't forget those juices in the skillet. They get added to the baking pan. Yes, this is a whole lot of flavor we do not want to leave behind. Pour them onto the chicken thighs, because that is a form of basting and reintroducing those juices back to the chicken thighs before they go into the oven. Now that our chicken and our rice have been combined in our baking pan, and I call that collision of wonderful flavors, we're ready to bake the whole thing. So let's do that. It's going to take 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you're looking in the description box. Everything you need to replicate this beautiful recipe is in there. In order to trap the steam, which will cook the rice into a fluffy texture, I place parchment paper to create a barrier between the foil and the rice. Then into the oven it goes, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. While our chicken and rice bakes, we have time to prepare the mushrooms to bring us that earthiness, which is going to be just perfect in this recipe. So let's work on that. And I have some thinly sliced shitake mushrooms. You can use any other vegetable of your choice if you do not care for mushrooms or don't care for the earthy flavor. I have used cauliflower as well as broccoli before in the past, and it was absolutely delightful as well. So in the same skillet in which we baked the chicken, which still has a lot of the flavor of the chicken left over, I place in half a tablespoon of butter and allow it to melt. And then add the shiitake mushrooms and spread them out and leave them alone for 2 minutes on medium heat. Mushrooms are notorious for quickly losing their moisture because they are plump and filled with moisture, which they tend to lose if you quickly start stirring and season with salt too soon. So cook for 2 minutes undisturbed and then go and start stirring, and then add the garlic followed by the salt to season with, as well as a pinch of black pepper. Last but certainly not the least ingredient in this preparation is some parsley, which I'm just giving a fine chop to. I'm going to sprinkle that onto the mushrooms, and as you can see, we did not form any broth around the mushrooms because we seared them properly. So they're nice, still plump and juicy. It's been 35 minutes, so the rice is cooked, but still too moist for my liking, but you can stop right here. However, what I'm going to do is to dry the rice up a little bit because that's how my family likes it. So I remove the chicken pieces from here and fluff the rice up to evenly distribute those juices, and see how fluffy it already is. All right, so stir it up with the fork just to loosen the rice up and create those air pockets in there to get the steam through, to cook it through perfectly. Then also you want to add your mushrooms at this point and incorporate them evenly. And then place your chicken pieces back on top of the rice. I'm going to cover it again with a parchment paper and foil and throw it back into the oven for just 5 minutes or so. At the same temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and dinner is served right after that. We did not waste time at all. It was smelling good. It was a very inviting dish. Of course, you want to garnish with the rest of your parsley and serve. This was perfection on a plate. Hands down, this dish was so fragrant, so tasty, it will knock your socks right off. And that chicken piece, need I tell you, it's juicy. I mean, you can see it for yourself. And that rice, well seasoned, and the flavors, they just work so well. The textures are amazing. What a genius on a plate. Friends, I hope you give this recipe a shot. You will not regret it. Every single person in your family is going to have an explosion in their mouths, and they will be very grateful. Just look at that. It is chop time, friends and family. I hope you learned a thing or two and are inspired to try this recipe. Make it a great day, friends and family, and have fun, especially in that kitchen. Thank you, beautiful person, for watching the video all the way to the end. Kindly leave me a comment and subscribe down below, and don't forget to share the video as well. Also, watch more videos. It is chop time, and here in Anaba's kitchen, chop time is always yes, friends. So pull up a chair. We are all friends and family here.